Good morning, everyone. Got your coffee? I got mine. So, listen, what I'm going to say today is going to be harsh, but it won't be a lie. But before I get to that, there are people that I need to say thank you to. A lot of people I need to say thank you to. I need to say thank you so much to Romania. Romania, thank you so much. And Kenny, thank you. I got your message. And yes, we are plotting out the fall winter garden. I started doing that just yesterday, as a matter of fact, while my husband and I were at lunch after my doctor's appointment. Shalonda, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. And to Cassie, or is it Casey? It's Casey. Casey, thank you so much. I appreciate you. We'll be able to do a lot with that. We need to make a food order because we're running low on food for the library pantry. So I'm going to have to put that Costco card to use real soon. And to Jacqueline, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And to Stephanie, thank you so much for the cup of coffee. I appreciate you all. Yesterday, I stopped at my, on the way to my doctor's office, my doctor's appointment. I stopped and checked my P.O. box, and I won't show them all, but we had these in here from Miss Tina. Should I say your last? I'm not going to say your last name. Miss Tina, you know who you are. Thank you so much for the calculators. I was thinking about putting calculators inside of the backpacks. I was going to just get mad from the Dollar Tree. These don't look like Dollar Tree calculators though, girl. These look nice. Yeah, I don't think these are Dollar Tree calculators at all. Girl, these are lovely. Thank you so much. And I will put the blue ones in the black backpacks, and I will put the pink ones in the daisy backpacks. But there's no rule that says that the boys have to take the black backpacks or that the girls have to take I keep seeing daisy. Sunflowers. I only got 1,000,000 of them in my backyard. Why do I want to keep seeing daisies? But anyway, thank you so much for that. And then to Audrey, who sent us a lovely package. Big package. And these are full of little things like, look, bubbles. And so, look at that. Isn't that fly? And bracelets for the girls. That is so fly. And then look at this one. These are like little gift baggies. Did you put these together? Because I know this awesomeness couldn't have come like this. Look, the kids love bubbles, y'all. I can never keep the bubbles in the library pantry because they love bubbles. Bubbles, as many of them as I will put in there in a day, that's how many of them will disappear. Let me grab just one more hour. I don't want to burn time because I have something that I want to say. Look, bracelets, bubbles, balloons. Isn't that nice? Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all so much. And then I got this lovely card. I won't show the address. From Miss Lori. And Lori sent the library pantry. Well, she said to put it wherever you think it would do the most good, but that's where I'm going to put it. That along with that one other donation. And we're going to get some food in for the library pantry because we're a little low on that. Thank you so very much. Please use this wherever you think is best. Lori, Blue Wolf Spirit. That's the handle that she goes by. So that I know who she is, but I know who she is. Some handles I can remember, only a handful of the more active members, but mostly my menopausal brain, I forget. And I don't mean to be, my husband and I were just talking the other day. I went to a funeral not too long ago, and someone came up to me in the funeral, and I didn't know who the fuck they were. I didn't know who this woman was. She looked really, really familiar to me. And I do this all the time because I'm one of those out of sight, out of mind people. And I swear I don't mean any disrespect. I don't. And I know I just be offending people. They're like, don't you remember me? You don't know who I am. And it's like, nope, I'm one of those people. And then Like maybe 2 weeks later, I remembered her name. But I was so slick about it. I don't know if she picked up on it or anything. But when she came over to me and she was like, hey, girl. I was like, girl, hey, I haven't seen you in so long. It's so good to see you. And then I introduced her to my husband. But I couldn't introduce my husband to her. So I was just like, and this is my husband. You know, like she needs, and I said it in a way like she needs no introduction. But I had no clue who she was. I had no clue. Anyways, and I don't mean anything by it. I just, even before menopause started messing with my mind, I was this person. But anyway, listen, you know what I want to circle back to? I want to circle back to that conversation about these videos and this trend that's going on over on TikTok. The Man of the Year trend. And remember when I told you in that video, I said, yeah, you see some women of color and you see some black women, you know, on this trend. But it's mostly white women that we're seeing engaging with this trend. And that's that trend where they play that song, Man of the Year, and then they record, they start playing these secret recordings of these men being verbally, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically abusive and violent to them. Excuse me. And you know what I think about that? How do I say this in a way that don't make me sound like a complete asshole? Listen, I have long suspected that this is the way a lot of white men treat their spouses. Excuse me. You know that 40% of police officers beat their wives. Did you all know that? Like, just over 40% of them beat on their wives. And I knew by because people project. They project the violence and the disrespect and the harm that has been inflicted on them onto others. And I think that this is one of the reasons why white women are so abusive to other women. Black women, Latino women, Asian women, why you all are so, why they rather are so disrespectful to so many of us and so abusive. And I think that they project what is going on with them behind closed doors. And it makes me wonder why white women, well, it doesn't make me wonder why, because I know why white women will not do their part to tear down patriarchy. Because if white women just collectively decided that they have had enough, like these trends are suggesting, of the abuse, excuse me, of the abuse that they are suffering at the hands of the men in their lives, and that they were going to be in real allyship with other women, the way other women have historically been in allyship with them, and the way white women demand that other women be in allyship with them. You know how they make demands on us black women. And black women, we stopped marching. We stopped taking up their causes. We stopped listening to them. We stopped addressing them. We just started resting. And everything that they did to antagonize us, all of those, and all of that, mind you, then it was something that I was trying to get across to black women. It's abusive. It's very abusive. When black women say, hey, look, that song by Tupac, Dear Mama, that's our song, and it's an anthem to black women. And that man talks about things in that song that you as white women, while you may be able to relate to certain aspects of that song clearly wasn't written for you. Although you was a black queen mama, there was no limit to the things you did. I mean, you are appreciated. I mean, those songs, those anthems to black women speak to our souls. And when white women took those songs and did what they did and turned them into some white woman's anthem to protest against things that they wouldn't have to protest against if they just stood up for all women so that we could unite against things like patriarchy and misogyny. Like black women have been consistently telling them, we wouldn't have even been there. But they just kept abusing us and kept abusing us and kept mocking us and kept talking shit and kept talking shit. That's abuse. It's abusive. And most people who are abusive have been or are being abused. And that's why I knew white women were getting their asses kicked behind closed doors the way these videos, this trend is suggesting. But I'm going to say this. Here comes the hard part. It's like when we tell women who keep getting cheated on, if you're not going to leave, shut the fuck up and let that man cheat in peace. Because don't nobody want to hear you whine about this man and the venereal diseases he keep bringing you and the babies he keep making on your time outside your relationship. Nobody wants to hear that shit. Shut the fuck up and let that man cheat in peace. That's kind of the way I feel about this trend. Shut the fuck up and let that man beat your ass in peace. Yep, I said it. And I know y'all gonna be like, whoa, Gardner, that's kind of rough, ain't it? No. Because if these women aren't going to do anything, if they're not going to unite with other women in order to destroy patriarchy, because listen, white women, and this is just the truth, they're the ones that hold it up. They are the ones that uphold patriarchy. And consequently, everyone underneath white women in the system of caste upholds patriarchy. But until white women, because they literally have the power. They have the proximity to tear that shit down to the ground. But they don't. And earlier I said, when I said, I don't know why they don't. We know why. Because those white hoods are more important than their womanhood. Their white skin is more important. They value that above feminism. And that's why white women will continue to uphold patriarchy. And because they continue to uphold patriarchy, not tear it out at its root, not do anything about it, let that man whoop your ass in peace. What do you want the rest of us to do? Feel sorry for you when you've had the power all along? White women are the most powerful women in the caste system. They're the most powerful women in the patriarchy. If white women didn't sell other women out, if white women didn't throw other women under the bus the way that they do in favor of whiteness, women would be so much further now. Hell, our bodily rights, our right to bodily autonomy wouldn't have been taken away from us if white women sided with women instead of with whiteness. Let that man beat your ass in peace. What do you want the rest of us women to do about it? You have made it clear that we are on our own. They've made that clear. Until y'all decide that y'all don't want to uphold, until white women decide that they don't want to uphold patriarchy anymore, this is what it's going to be. But make no mistake about it, America is on its own 4B movement. And I think that that's something that whether women of all races and backgrounds are in, whether we are in allyship or not, I think that this is something that all women are kind of silently acknowledging, which leads us to this male epidemic of male loneliness. Women have just decided that they just not taking this anymore, and that they would just rather be alone and in peace than to deal with these unhinged men. And so while our movement looks different, it's kind of the same movement. Only we just haven't stopped having kids. It's like, to me, you all are kind of dealing with men on a temporary basis. You know, I think you all still want the babies, but there are levels to it. Because give it another 5 years or so, you all ain't gonna want the babies anymore. Especially when you start really admitting to yourself that being single mothers is a soul killer. But white women, make no mistake about it, have the power to dismantle the patriarchy. They just won't do it because they value the power of whiteness more than they do the power of womanhood. And that's just the truth. So stop crying to the rest of us about how bad you getting your ass kicked behind closed doors. If we are on our own, y'all are on your own. And that's just the way that it is. You can't have your cake and eat it too. But it's an interesting trend, nevertheless. I knew it though. Anyway, that is all that I have to talk about for today. Thank you for joining me for Morning Coffee Chat. If you would like to donate to the Library Pantry or just buy me a cup of coffee or support the platform, I will leave my Cash App and my Venmo down in the comments. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good day and leave your comments down in the comment section. Talk to you tomorrow.